Okay team, and welcome to another market breakdown for the week ahead. I am currently doing this on a Friday just because I'm at the office and I've been making some videos. So I'm just going to carry on with what I'm doing today. So I'm going to do the market breakdown for the week ahead. Obviously I'm looking at swing positions, so anything I do find now, it is, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock now on the Friday anyway, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So anything that does come to fruition is more than likely going to happen next week anyway. I haven't actually gone through the watch list yet. I'm just going to go through it with you guys here. The last pair is actually gold, so let's remove that. So I'm going to start with AUD USD. This one's looking good as I've just been looking through this one. Obviously, we're looking at this recent leg here based off the daily. It's been a massive extension to the downside. We have broken structure over here to the left. So I'm at least looking at price coming up into the higher end of this range before we start looking for overall higher time frame short positions. So based off the 4 hour, it's pretty clean here. We've come to the low of that daily leg, remember. We've had that liquidity sweep here to the low. A nice spike through, no candle close. And then a reversal, push upside, quite impulsive, leaving imbalances, break a structure. And now I'm simply looking for the return to my Fibonacci level. And I will be buying upside. Euro, US dollar. Let's have a look to see if there's anything actually on here. I don't really like the look of EU and GU at the minute as well, as we have had a push downside. See, this week obviously we've had the election, so Donald Trump has been made president. But overall, obviously, if we're just looking at what I look for, we've had your liquidity here, swept, break structure down the lows, and yeah, we more than likely would be looking for a continuation to the downside, preferably if I was to take a trade on this pair. I more than likely won't be, just because I don't really like the look of it at the minute, because we are this leg here, we have broke to the new lows. So yeah, I suppose we could, but it's just that news candle. I don't like the news candle, because obviously that could just be some sort of manipulation from the election, big spike down due to negative news or positive news or whatever, and now we're trying to realign ourselves back with the market. So yeah, I wouldn't preferably be looking at this one. GU is the same kind of thing. It's just sideways movement. There's no clear structure breaks or clear idea where price actually wants to go. That's now been violated. Yes, that's another one there. New Zealand dollar. It's the US dollar pairs are the ones that are quite hard. This one kind of looks the same. I say quite hard. I'm probably going to be trading this one. This is the same as Australian Aussie dollar. Looking at this range here, I'm expecting price to come back up into these areas before we see any overall reversal or extended push upside. If you are looking at the weekly range, I haven't got that time frame up, but you've got a clear uptick on there. We could be at the lows of the weekly range. So going back into the 4 hour, it's the same setup as Aussie dollar. We've had that liquidity sweep to the downside. We did get a candle close, but we quickly turned back around and come back within that range. And then we consolidated and then impulsively pushed upside, breaking structure, leaving imbalances that do line up with our Fibonacci entry. So I will be looking at something like this again. Cover the lows and then target the highs for a nice 2R. So that will be on my watch list. I need to add that as well. Blue. US dollar CAD. This is another one. Overall, we've had that extensive leg downside. We did break multiple areas of structure. We broke one here, we've broke one here, and we have broke one here daily. We are at a very high leg of a daily range if we look here to here. So I'm expecting some long-term downside on US dollar CAD going into the 1 hour on this. We did have that liquidity sweep over this side, push downside, return back into our Fibonacci levels, taken some internal liquidity on the 1 hour. We have now tapped into this fair value gap imbalance and overall supply area. We didn't take out that high, very close to taking it out, but we didn't take out the high. And then dropping into the 15 minute, we have exactly the same setup again. That's a bit out of place there, but we've got this. So we are coming into our target now. So I might set my limit order for that in a minute. Liquidity sweep to the upside. We consolidated, impulsively pushed downside breaking structure. Now the 15 minute has in line with the 4 hour and the 1 hour to now look for sells. Huge area of imbalance sitting here. There is demand sitting up here as well. 4 hour, I prefer the 4 hour. So yeah, we've got a big area here. Let's quickly highlight that, which does cover the Fibonacci area. So we've got, if I just reset that for you. So you've got that candle there. So that's a nice supply area. It lines up perfectly with our Fibonacci levels. So I will be looking at something like this. More than likely getting on the higher end of that one. And then I will be targeting the lows there. Obviously, you could always target further lows, but just target your Fibonacci lows. That's what I like to do. Better read that as well, for fuck's sake. US dollar CAD. So US dollar Swiss franc. It's funny how I said I'm going to avoid the US pairs. I've only at the minute avoided GU and EU. Yeah, nice trade here. Paper trade this was. The higher end of a 4 hour leg. Obviously the impulsive move upside. Obviously you've got to expect a turnaround at some point. So dropping into the 15. I might as well go over it while it's here. Liquidity sweep to the upside. Asia took that. Then we had a market structure shift impulsively, but we pulled back upside, but nothing there to say, this is a new high or whatever. So we pushed down, breaking multiple levels of structure. So this is the overall leg I was looking at. We pulled back upside, tapped into our Fibonacci level, entered us in, stops at the high, TP at the low. Come in, went into not a nice drawdown, but a big enough drawdown that you wouldn't really like, but it reversed and it did go to take profit, so a nice 2% on that one. But at the minute, there is nothing. Obviously, you're going to be looking for shorts on this pair until we get into this lower end of the range, so there's nothing too clear. I like to see things that are a bit more just obvious in your face. Obviously, there probably is trades here. Like you've got a liquidity sweep here, an extensive push downside. You could get in around these areas, but you also have liquidity here. There's still imbalance sitting up here, so this was one I would not be jumping into. US dollar, Japanese yen. This is one that I do really like the look of right now, and overall liquidity, a lot of liquidity has been taken down near these lows. All this liquidity has been taken. We've had a push upside. We've had a market structure shift. Why has that happened? Market structure shift there. And an overall higher time frame break of structure, right? So we will take that. Very impulsive. Probably already in our Fibonacci level. But is it in a valid area? It is. So we're in a valid area. You would want to look at something like this, cover them lows there, and then just target our high. US dollar is more than likely, in my opinion, going to be getting stronger at the minute. I am going to take this trade at the minute, so let me just quickly plot this in. This is a US dollar JPY. US dollar JPY. What's the pip amount? Is 112, and I'm going to risk a 1%. It's a 0.6, so I'll take that. 0.6 on a UJ. US dollar JPY. Trade 0.6 taken. Rightio. So we are in that trade. This move stops to the 4 hour low. Perfect. And then take profit at the 4 hour high. Perfect. That trade is in place, so I will be moving that to my red folder. Aussie dollar CAD. What have we got here? Liquidity sweep, impulsive move upside. There is reasons to be looking overall upside. Yeah, we've come into this lower end of the daily range as well. We have tapped in demand, swept that demand, and then tapped into that fair value gap sitting there as well. It is highlighted, but I have it short, but there's a fair value gap sitting there. So those two have been mitigated. And then overall, we've got a liquidity sweep from these lows here. Pushing upside, breaker structure over here. Clean breaker structure. And then we have Fibonacci levels ready to go there. It looks nice on the 1 hour as well. So I would be looking at something like this. Stops at the lows there. And then target them highs there. For a nice 2R. Yeah, so that'll be on the watch list again for next week. Obviously, I won't be taking all these pairs already. I've got quite a lot. And I've only just got into the minors. Looking at something like this, I've already been looking at this one. We've had trades all through the week on this one. Liquidity sweep, then breaker structure, return to Fibonacci. You would have got that trade, a nice win. And then once again, market structure shift, breaker structure from this high here. Return to the Fibonacci, and then extensive push upside, which would have got 2 trades for a TP. So now if you're looking at this again, this is the main leg, especially on the 4 hour. But we have taken liquidity over here. But once again, the daily range, we have come into that lower end of that range. So I'm looking for an overall target to be up here. This is my overall target. That's key level right there. So that's my overall target there. So I'd like to see a return there, return to there, stops there, TP there, and that would be my idea for that one. Aussie dollar, no, don't really like that one. AUD NZD, I don't really like that one. Where are we on the daily? On euro, Aussie dollar, same thing. We've had a push down on the daily. We have come in. I did have an idea for this, but just there wasn't an entry. I had this waiting so long, and I had this low here marked out. If you look at the last week's market breakdown video, I had this level marked out, and I was waiting for a break in. I wanted to see a return, but it just kept going. So we missed out on that one, but never mind. Euro CAD 4 hour. We've had a liquidity sweep down here, but nothing significant, no changes yet, just overall daily consolidation. Don't like that. Yeah, don't like that at all. So we'll move on to the next one. Euro Swiss franc. That looks fucking filthy, that does. Yep, don't like that. Euro Great British Pound. I've been waiting for this. Luckily, I didn't actually get in on this one. I didn't like how quickly it come back into our levels, but I am waiting for some lower time frame switch ups. This is what I lost yesterday. Had the liquidity sweep, and then there was an impulsive move upside, and I did get in on the Fibonacci at this levels here, but then obviously I was in profit for a few hours, and then it just come back down. But yeah, I am waiting for some sort of structural shift or alignment to take place here, but at the minute I don't like it. Euro JPY, don't like it. Actually, was it on the 1 hour? Anything? No, don't like it. Euro NZD. Not a huge fan of this one either at the minute. More than likely, I'm looking for an upside move, but there's nothing screaming at me. Obviously, we have demand here, but then there's liquidity sitting below this, so nothing there for me. GA, push upside. The only next logical target is this one up here. That's some key levels sitting there. That'll be an area of liquidity to target. But whether or not we get that move upside is different. We have had liquidity swept from these lows here, and we have finally come into this lower, this leg. But do I still like the look of it? No. I don't like the look of it. We had a nice sell this week or last week or whenever that was. That's one I missed actually. But no, I don't really like it. We are in an area that I could potentially be looking for positions, but there's no good shape to the market on this pair at the minute. Right, Great British Pound CAD. One trade that was lost and one trade that was lost again, close to the winners, but they lost overall, so that's fucking shit. But we are still in this overall. If you're looking at the picture, I'll remove that there, and then if this was price action, this is what the range we are still currently in. So we've had the liquidity sweep, we've had the market structure shift, we have pushed downside, we have returned to the Fibonacci level, and we have fucked around for a good long time. So overall, you do want to be looking for some sort of shift in the market. We've got a nice trendline liquidity sitting here, which I do like the look of to be taken. But is there going to be a nice shape printed that will give us an idea to take shorts down to the downside? And I don't think there will be. You could just get in randomly based off this Fibonacci over here, but I don't like the way it's consolidated for this long to do that now. If it was over here, I probably would, because I think, I'll push down, this broke internal structure there, lovely, I can enter. But no, I don't like the way it's looking now, and I will wait on something a bit more clear on that one. Great British Pound CHF, that was another loss I took. That can be all cleared now, but I don't like the look of this overall anyway, because I was getting wins over this side, then I started getting wins on this side, and then it started consolidating, and now it's just all over the fucking place. I was in liquidity sweep. These are lower time frames, so liquidity sweep, pushed downside, broke structure, returned to order block, and then the same thing kept happening. Nice over here, lovely structure, and then on the way back up, lovely structure, and then it's just gone into an absolute madness. So at the minute on this one, there is nothing. Great British Pound NZD, I do have something marked out on here, yes I do. So we've had the liquidity sweep to the upside, we've had a push downside, break structure, market structural shift, and we have had a nice supply demand print, supply area printed there. We have broke overall levels over here as well, so we broke structure based off the higher time frame. Structure has been broken there. Yep. Yeah, 4 hour has been broken. So if you're just following that, let's just clear some of this up a bit. If you are just following that structure, it's pretty clear we are bearish. 1 hour looks, 15 minute looks clean as well on this one. Liquidity sweep, mark internal structure shift, break a structure based off the higher time frame, and then even higher time frame structure has been broken, so we could return into this area to then maybe tap into this supply zone, and then targets would be down this low here, so that one will be getting added to the watch list. GJ fuming with this one because Euro Great British Pound is the one I lost on yesterday, and then Great British Pound is the one I paper traded, and look how fucking clean this was. Liquidity, let's get rid of this fucking session indicator. Liquidity sweep to the upside, push downside, market structure shift, return to Fibonacci, and a clean push downside to take profit. The reason why I didn't take this one is because it was not as impulsive and didn't leave behind any imbalances. And this one, to me, was a lot more impulsive, and it left behind imbalances. I had, obviously, this Fibonacci from here to here, imbalance lined up with Fibonacci. There was also imbalance below that Fibonacci. So to me, it just looked more cleaner to take. But when you actually look at the Great British Pound, the liquidity sweep was a lot cleaner. Little spike up, taking that liquidity, and then it rolled over, and it did break structure. So yeah, there was pros and cons to both, because this breaker structure ain't as clean as obviously EG breaker structure, but this liquidity sweep, could you class it as a liquidity sweep? Maybe. Even on the 1 hour look, candle closed below it. So GJ just looks a lot more cleaner in that sense, and that's the one I missed out on. But looking at price action now, the 4-hour time frame, we're still in play on this one because we could get a return back upside at some point, more than likely from this leg to this leg. So we could see something like this, push upside, take out this internal liquidity into this area here before pushing further down to there. But obviously my target wouldn't be there, my target would be here. So I'll be looking at something like that. Yeah, so I'm going to add this one. This is going to be at the bottom of my list because we are already at 50% of that overall higher time frame range, which is the main swing position. So if we do pull back up into the higher end of this, then I will get in 100%. NZD CADs. Yeah, that was another one. It looked very clean. It didn't come to fruition. Nothing there looking good for me at the minute. It's very sideways. NZD JPY, once again, you are overall bullish, but with the amount of stuff, with the amount of pairs I do have, do I need to add another one? Obviously, if you're looking at this overall leg, we're above the 50% there as well. But there is a lot of areas to push upside. Liquidity sweeps have been placed. Has happened, sorry. We have had a push upside. I don't like how impulsive back down this is coming. I'm just going to leave it for now. And in gold, I am in a current buy on this pair. Just because we've had push upside, we have taken out some external structure. But overall, we are quite bullish on this pair, and because of the election, gold has been pretty strong in a sense. So I'm looking. I was looking at this order flow here: upside, downside, upside, broke structure, and then back down. And then this candle close, I got in, and I'm looking just to target these highs here, which does give me a 2.5%, but I will just take it at the 2. That will be my target, even if it gets there, because my luck's not been great at the minute. But yeah, that's my target there, the 2%, which should be, is that in the red folder? It's not even in the red folder. I can't fucking see it. 1 sec. Red folder. Rightio. So we've got quite a few pairs. So I'm currently in 2 pairs. UJ, which is fucking moving, happy days. So hopefully we take off on that one. So I'm in a UJ trade, and I'm currently in a gold trade. If they both play out today, then I will be happy. That will end the week pretty nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pairs I'm currently looking at. I like the look of Aussie dollar. I would like to see some consolidation or a little pull back upside before we push down towards this entry level, because I don't like impulsive moves back down. But yeah, overall I am looking at Aussie dollar, NZD USD. It looks exactly the same as Aussie dollar. US dollar CAD is coming into our areas now, so I'm hoping that it doesn't keep pushing, because I would like to see a little consolidation on that one as well. Then AUD CAD, same as Aussie dollar, it's looking good. AUD Swiss franc, once again, is looking good. Like to see a bit of consolidation on this one as well. Got a higher time frame target up here as well. Liquidity sitting up there that should be targeted. Great British Pound, NZD, is moving nicely back into this shape. It's just really nice, really clean shape. So I'm just looking at a nice return to this Fibonacci area before we push downside. And then Great British Pound, JPY, overall the higher time frame swing is still in play. We are pushing down. We was in a big drawdown if you took a trade here, which would have been here, would have got us in over here. So if we would have gone out, it would have been a big drawdown, but you would have been in profit now. But lower time frame based, there is still an entry to be taken. So yeah, they're the pairs for the week ahead. Fingers crossed we can get in some. Oh, sorry, that none of them really tag in until next week. But yeah, I'm going to upload a video now anyway, so yeah, happy days. Keep track of what's popping, and yeah, just trade safe. We've got there's not a lot of news next week, I don't believe, so yeah, just trade safe around the news events, boys and girls, and I will see you guys in the next one.